Welcome to Glorica 26. Today, we unveil Toyota's epic journey from humble looms to global car giant. It all started with a piece of wood, a strand of thread, and a father's determination to ease his mother's burden. In a small Japanese village in Shizuoka, a curious young boy watched his mother tirelessly weave cloth using a traditional hand loom. That boy was Sakichi Toyoda, and his desire to help his mother would unknowingly spark a revolution. Not just in textile manufacturing, but eventually in the global automobile industry. This is the true story of Toyota, a company that went from creating looms to becoming the world's largest car manufacturer. Sakichi Toyoda was born on February 14, 1867. His father was a simple carpenter, and his mother was a weaver. Raised in a modest household, Sakichi grew up surrounded by hard work and discipline. But what truly set him apart was his insatiable curiosity. He was fascinated by machines, by how things worked, and more importantly, how they could be improved. Watching his mother spend hours hunched over a hand loom, Sakichi wondered, can this be made easier? Driven by that question, Sakichi began tinkering. In 1891, he invented his first manual wooden loom. It was a modest improvement, but it showed potential. And Sakichi wasn't done. He kept refining, experimenting, and pushing forward. Finally, in 1924, he introduced the Toyota Automatic Loom Type G, Japan's first truly automatic loom. This machine was revolutionary. It could detect broken threads and stop automatically, preventing waste and saving time. For the textile industry, this was a giant leap. But for Sakichi, it was only the beginning. 5 years later, in 1929, the British textile company Platt Brothers purchased the patent for Sakichi's loom for £100,000, a huge sum at the time. But Sakichi didn't spend the money on himself. Instead, he gave it to his son, Kichiro Toyoda, with a single mission: build something greater. Kichiro was not a textile engineer. His heart was elsewhere. Fascinated by engines and machines, Kichiro had a new vision: automobiles. At the time, Japan had no domestic auto industry. All cars were imported from the US and Europe. Expensive and unfamiliar machines seen only among the wealthy. But Kichiro believed that Japan, still rising from the ashes of the Meiji era, needed its own vehicles. He began studying foreign cars, taking them apart, learning how they worked, and dreaming of building one that was truly Japanese. In 1933, under the umbrella of Toyota Automatic Loom Works, Kichiro formed a new automotive division. 2 years later, in 1935, the team produced their first prototype passenger car, the Toyota A1. It was a small step, but a bold one. The following year, they built the Model G1 truck, designed for industrial and military use. By 1937, it was time to go all in. Toyota Motor Corporation was officially established as an independent company. But why Toyota and not Toyota? It was a strategic choice. In katakana, Toyota is written with 8 strokes, considered a lucky number in Japanese culture. Toyota required 9. It was also a way to create a separate identity for the new automotive venture. However, just as Toyota was finding its feet, the world spiraled into war. During World War II, Toyota shifted from making passenger cars to producing military trucks for the Japanese army. After the war, Japan was devastated. Cities were in ruins, factories destroyed, and the economy in collapse. Toyota itself barely survived. At one point, they could only produce a handful of vehicles per month. By 1950, facing bankruptcy, Toyota had to lay off over 2,000 employees, including senior executives. It was the lowest point in their history. But in the darkest hour, Toyota chose to fight. With a bailout loan from Japan's central bank and the unwavering resolve of its engineers and workers, the company began to rebuild. A young executive named Eiji Toyoda, Sakichi's nephew, was sent to the United States to study Ford's manufacturing processes. He spent weeks observing the Ford Motor Company in Detroit, learning how mass production worked. But what AG saw wasn't perfect. While Ford's production lines were efficient, they also had issues: overproduction, excess inventory, and lack of flexibility. AG returned to Japan with a vision. Alongside engineer Taichi Ono, he developed a new manufacturing philosophy, one that emphasized efficiency, waste reduction, and continuous improvement. This became the Toyota Production System, TPS, later known globally as lean manufacturing. Key principles included just-in-time delivery and Kaizen, a culture of constant improvement. This system transformed Toyota. It enabled them to make high-quality vehicles faster, cheaper, and with greater flexibility. In 1958, Toyota made its first attempt to enter the American market with the Toyota Crown. But the car failed, too underpowered for American highways, too small for American tastes. Yet, instead of retreating, Toyota learned. They studied the market, adjusted their designs, and returned stronger. In 1966, Toyota launched the Corolla. Small, affordable, reliable, and fuel-efficient. It was everything consumers wanted. The Corolla became an instant hit. And when the global oil crisis hit in the 1970s, Toyota's fuel-efficient cars surged in popularity, especially in the US and Europe, where large American cars guzzled gasoline. Toyota quickly rose from a newcomer to a major player in the global market. Over the next few decades, Toyota expanded aggressively. They built factories around the world, in the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, Thailand, and Indonesia. Their vehicle lineup grew rapidly, including trucks, vans, SUVs, and luxury sedans. In 1989, Toyota launched Lexus, its luxury division, to compete with Mercedes-Benz and BMW. The move was a success, and Lexus quickly became synonymous with quality and refinement. Then came another milestone. In 1997, Toyota released the Prius, the world's first mass-produced hybrid car. Long before climate change dominated headlines, Toyota had already anticipated the shift. Prius wasn't just a car. It was a statement. It symbolized innovation, responsibility, and foresight. Celebrities, environmentalists, and tech-savvy consumers flocked to it. Prius changed how the world viewed green vehicles. Toyota's global dominance continued into the 2000s. Their cars became symbols of durability and trust. Whether it was the rugged Hilux in the Middle East, the family-friendly Camry in America, or the versatile Innova in Southeast Asia, Toyota was everywhere. Their vehicles weren't flashy, but they were built to last. But greatness doesn't come without challenges. In the early 2010s, Toyota faced one of its biggest crises: a massive global recall due to unintended acceleration issues. Millions of vehicles were affected. The media frenzy was intense. Lawsuits followed. Toyota's hard-earned reputation was on the line. But the company didn't hide. They issued public apologies, overhauled quality control systems, and took steps to win back consumer trust. Slowly, the brand recovered. By 2023, Toyota once again became the world's top car manufacturer by sales, surpassing giants like Volkswagen and General Motors. And they are not stopping. With a strong push into electric vehicles, EVs, hydrogen-powered cars, and autonomous driving technologies, Toyota continues to innovate for the future. Their goal is clear: to build a sustainable mobility society for the next century. Behind the polished showrooms, behind the steering wheels of millions of cars worldwide, lies a deep-rooted philosophy passed down from Sakichi Toyoda: respect for people and continuous improvement. This mantra still drives Toyota today. From a simple wooden loom to cutting-edge EVs, Toyota's journey is more than just a corporate success. It is a story of vision, resilience, humility, and relentless pursuit of excellence. A story that proves no dream is too small, and no beginning too humble. So the next time you see the iconic Toyota emblem, a circle with overlapping ellipses, remember, it's not just a brand. It's a legacy born from compassion, crafted through hardship, and fueled by innovation.